So hello and welcome to an episode of Stephen's Four Wheels. It's been a little bit of a while since I last did a video, and that's basically I've been away a couple of times, and also when I've been at home the weather's been lousy and I haven't been able to get out and do anything with the cars. However, the weather has been good enough for me to collect something very familiar. I've also taken both SLKs to their first event, which I've shown you all. You've seen my social media, just some pictures of that, and getting these cars both parked up together in the paddock area. It was just really nice. It's nice to see these two cars actually together. They have met very briefly. I know I shouldn't say that. I'm talking to a person they've met, you know, they've gone for a date together and stuff. And there was candles and dessert and all that sort of thing, but no, they are actually cars. They have met. Got the image in my head now. They have actually met before, because I had the SLK was still down here sort of November time when the other SLK showed up, and they were down here together for about a week before that went into winter storage. But they've been to the first show together. And that was like a second date, that was. Now, for those of you who have followed the channel for a while, and thank you very much for that, you may recognise this car, and this is my 2011 Mercedes SLK. Now, this is the car I've owned for about 5 years now, and because I don't have proper garage facilities down here, I do store this at my parents during winter. And this winter, I've been gonna get it out. It was November I put it in, so actually it was quite late. Normally I put it sort of October time, but I've been trying to get this car back down for the best part of about 2 months now. March wasn't very good weather-wise, so I decided to leave it in there for a bit longer. April, I went away a couple of times. For about 2 weeks I was away. And then when I was here, if the weather was lousy to go and collect it, I'll try and collect it in the dry safe, having to get a massive wash. Or my parents had COVID as well during that 2 weeks, wasn't very helpful, so I couldn't really go up to collect the car and see them. So this car is still in really good condition. I haven't washed it, I haven't really driven it that much, that's why I haven't really washed it since probably last year. So it is due a little bit of a clean, but it isn't actually that dirty. It seems to be quite shiny still. There's nothing much that I need to get done on this car. The computer says it's due a service, but I'm going to hold off on a circuit. It's only done probably a couple of thousand miles on this one. The MOT is in the end of September, beginning of October time, so I'm going to get the service done then. The only other thing, there's a couple of little minor things on the bodywork. There's a little bit of a scratch down there. There's a few little chips. Also, the bonnet is never quite lined up on this car. You can feel a little bit of a ridge. You probably can't quite tell on the camera, so I'm going to get the body shop at work hopefully to have a look at that if they'd be so kind. But other than that, this car's fairly ready to go, ready to enjoy for the show season. So next we move on to the B class. Yeah, it's caused me a little bit of a problem, this car has. Recently, I don't know if I mentioned this, first time I went down to Devon on first holiday, it decided to get a bulge in the tyre. Not really the car's fault. I did hit a couple of potholes, particularly the roads around Dartmoor, a little bit bad. And unfortunately, I did hit a few potholes which are sort of hard to miss when you've got cars coming the other way. So unfortunately, I had to pay out for a new tyre. Bearing in mind, I already paid out for a tyre when it had its MOT last year, and I also paid out for one in January. So it's the third tyre this year. So I'm hoping that's the last time we ever any sort of tyre issues of this kind. It's all on the same wheel as well. I was pointing that out. Second time I went away on holiday, it obviously didn't like going down to Devon very much. I took it out and came back from work on the Friday night, we were just going Saturday morning, and it was really driving not very well, and it was sort of, how should I describe it, it wasn't changing up, it felt really sort of lumpy is the word I'm going to use to drive, and it just didn't feel itself. So got home, turned it off. I then had to go and drop my girlfriend off somewhere in the evening, and it suddenly decided to throw up an engine management light. So this, coupled with the fact that it wasn't driving very well still, obviously there's an issue with the car. Obviously it's the night before we're going home, and I can't really do anything about it. I had to wait, so I got back from holiday, take it into work, and basically asked them to have a look at it. Thankfully, it was just I think it was a boost pressure sensor, so not really a big fix, big problem to fix. Overall, it was a little bit, sort of just sits at the front, little sensor sits probably just sort of here in the the engine bay. It was about £40 to actually get the sensor fitted, or sensor for the part, and then I was fitting on top of that. So overall it came to about £150 odd for this, so not the end of the world, but that's not exactly ideal, particularly the timing of it was, as usually cars, things always go wrong, we don't want them to go wrong. Now you might have already seen in my last shop next to the B-Class, those of you particularly observant, there's another Mercedes on the drive, and that is because this is my girlfriend's new car. She's got a Land Rover at the moment, which is over there, which has been causing a few problems recently, and we've decided to cut her losses. And my partner said to me a few months ago, if you see anything nice coming into work, good service history, relatively nice mileage, nice condition, let me know. And this came in, I sent her a few pictures. She wanted to go in for a test drive, so I stuck some tray plates in and went off, and yeah, she really liked it. So really good little car. It's neat. Alloys have been refurbished, had a little bit of engine work, because every car that, even as a staff employer, even if you buy this would have gone to auction, every car you buy gets a check as well, so it needs a few bits to get through that check. But overall, a really nice car. I don't actually have the keys for it at the moment, and it's locked, but nice spec really. And we ended up going down to Devon actually in this car. So this sort of saved the day. We managed to get our dogs on the back seat, and I'd already bought, to be honest, because we're going to start taking the dogs out to some car shows, some little dog seat belts. So they were, when it's safe in there, they clip onto their harnesses, and then the other end is basically just like a regular seat belt. Little clippings, clip it in and clip it out when you want to. But yeah, really impressed with this car. It drives really nicely. It doesn't really feel like it's a 16-year-old car. So hopefully many years of happy motoring for my girlfriend. And finally, what's been going on with the older SLK? Not a lot actually, as I've already shown you. I've done all the bodywork, all the rest of the arch all been solved, all the dents been taken out of it. Just on Friday I took it into work again just to have the dents taken out. There was a massive dent on the roof, obviously just knocked on it at some point. A little bit difficult repair because of all the mechanism and everything. The dent guy didn't feel comfortable going in from underneath. He wanted to pull it out, so it's a little bit more of a complex repair. But he was more than capable of it. He just had a special kit and did it, and now there's still a little bit of a mark there, which probably won't show up on the camera. I don't know if I actually managed to get a footage of the dent, what it looked like before, but it was sort of, I think I'm trying to find it now. There's still a tiny little dent where it was. I can't even see it, it's that small. But it was about here, so every time you got into the car, you sort of looked down and noticed it quite a bit. So hence why I've got it done. But other than that, this car is going to be due for quite a big service. I think it was recommended that the brake pads, sorry not brake pad, brake fluid change. The rear tyres are they were advised you to change. Now I haven't got any documentation to say that they've been changed. However, having a little feel of them, they don't feel the best. So I think those were pretty much on the legal limit. Probably maybe a little bit aware, not the worst tyres in the world. But they are going to need changing, so I might probably change the front tyres as well while I'm at it. But other than that, just a sort of standard oil filter change, oil change. What else was there? There's other stuff as well I'm going to do too. I've got a whole list in the house, but those are the main sort of things that you do. You the tyres. Obviously had a new battery as well. Battery's still going really well. I've also managed to somehow break the stereo. Now this is why I don't really do a lot of work on cars myself, because I somehow managed to break the stereo. I basically decided to take it out and have a look at the connectors behind the stereo. Didn't really learn a great deal from that, to be honest. I put it back in and now it doesn't work. It worked before I took it out. And this is why you shouldn't really do anything unless you absolutely know what you're doing. Basically, I certainly don't know what I'm doing. I'm sort of got some of the gear and definitely no idea. But other than that, this car's going really well. I'm going to do more film this video. Probably hoping the next video I put out, or definitely one after that, is going to be on this car and sort of looking back a little bit on this. Still a little bit of work to do in it, say more mechanical stuff or maintenance stuff than he's doing now. Only cosmetic things now are the wheels. I'll show you the front wheels, which are, I didn't think they were too bad when I bought the car, but as you can see, just bumped me up a little bit, so they need doing. It's mainly the front two that need doing. But if I'm going to do the front two, I might also go and do the rear ones as well and do the whole set while I'm at it. And then, as ever with all the cars, I've seen quite a few of this, okay, it's a lot of the interior peel. I'm not going to go into too much detail now because I've been through this all before. So I'm going to hopefully buy some paint this couple of weeks and get that all sorted, and hopefully then it will be pretty much sorted, and that will be the end of Project SLK. And again, I'll go into the next video at what I'm going to, my sort of long-term plans of this car, whether I'm going to keep it, what's the long-term plans for it, or what I'm going to do really. So stay tuned for that. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, a little bit of a different video. It's just really sort of a catch-up video really, what's happened last month. There's been quite a bit going on, as you can see. I'm having to sort stuff out. I even treated my daily driver B-Class to a hand wash. Normally I whack it for the wash at work, but I've decided today to give it a wash. So that automatically means it's probably going to something wrong with it, because I've dared show a little bit of nice treatment towards it. Obviously the SLK, I always wash my hand myself anyway, and obviously my other SLK. And even the C-Class I did today as well. I did 2 cars in one go, and I don't know what came over. It's Sunday morning, everyone's in bed, and there's me cleaning 2 cars. But hopefully you enjoyed the video, a little bit different today. As I say, next video hopefully will be one of the SLKs. I'm not too sure which one it is at the moment. I'll see how it goes. Make sure you like the video. Make sure if you've got any comments what you'd like to see on the channel coming up. I've got a few ideas of what I want to do. But yeah, let me know your ideas, what you guys want to see. That's what really keeps this channel going. I can put out these videos and do what I want to do. Whether you guys want to see that is another thing. So let me know in the comments below. And as ever, if I can get my words out, that is, please do subscribe to the channel so you make sure you keep up to date with all the things that are going on. And I will see you next time. So goodbye.